Stadium Journey podcast. Thanks for joining us tonight, wherever you happen to be watching this. Our website, stadiumjourney.com, is the world leader in sports travel information with reviews of over 2,500 stadiums around the world. The actual count right now, 2,522. And we are more than just an awesome website. Connect with us on our social media channels at Stadium Journey. You can find audio versions of the Stadium Journey podcast by picking up your phone and searching HIAC Talk Radio Network wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Video simulcast of this podcast can be found on our YouTube page, and our classic back catalog can still be found at vocnation.com. And remember, if you want to be part of our studio audience, we record live every other Tuesday night at 7 Eastern at danlaw.tv. And hey, the gang is all here tonight, at least temporarily. We've got Dave Cotney here on location live from Peterborough. You can follow him at ProFan9. Mark Piquez can be found online at Ballpark Hunter.
Yeah.
The other guy, Dan Calachico's here. You can follow him at DanLaw83.
Hi.
And I'm Paul Baker. You can follow me at PuckmanRI. Back in the studio, back in the basement studio. We're excited. So for those of you who have been with us since the beginning of this podcast, first of all, thanks to all three of you for being with us that long. But seriously, when we started, we weren't sure how to attack this thing we call the Stadium Journey podcast. At first, we tried to do current events and have a guest on and talk about our trips. But, real quickly, we got tired of having 3-hour podcasts. So we stopped trying to be SportsCenter, and we found out pretty soon that having a central topic or having a guest worked best. And we've had some great guests on this show. But after all, the name of the podcast is Stadium Journey. So we struggled trying to figure out how to best capture that part of what we do on the website and here on the podcast. And what we've settled on for now, we're going to try it starting tonight. This only took us 5 years to figure out. Once every couple of months, we're going to recap all the new and interesting places we visited. Because, after all, you can only hear me talk about the Dunkin' Donuts Center so many times, right? And there's only so much that I can say about it. So today, we're going to put the journey back in Stadium Journey. No guest tonight. We're going to talk about trips from the beginning of 2022 till today, March 15th. So here we go. And speaking of trips, Dave is on location right now from Peterborough, Ontario.
He has a trip.
He is a trip.
On a trip. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Awesome. Part of the joys of being on the road is you're not really sure if they can hear you or not. So, yeah, I'm at Peterborough Memorial Center in Peterborough, Ontario, home of the Peterborough Petes. And you can see behind me the Memorial Park. So these are all different regiments, I think.
Nice visuals.
But I chose this spot because it's quiet.
Nice acoustics as well.
Yeah. So this is a neat spot. This is actually the beginning of our first March break trip in a couple of years. So when all this COVID stuff went down, we were days away from going to Colorado and knocking a few things off the bucket list, and that didn't happen. So there was obviously no March break last year. Well, there was, but it was in April, and there was nowhere to go. So this is our first March break in a while, and we just dropped this one on. We had a little bit of change of plans. We're on our way to Ottawa tomorrow and Montreal after that, and we hit the hotel because it's kind of a partway point because we had a bit of a change of plans and said, you know what, let's hop down the street and go to the Pete's game. Why not? So I like this spot. To me, it's underrated. There's a ton of history. You could just walk around this place. I don't know if you can see behind me over there is the Peterborough Sports Hall of Fame. They got a ton of artifacts in there. I was showing Dan some of the banners earlier. When you can boast coaches like Scotty Bowman and Roger Nielsen who got their starts here. I mean, that's saying a lot. The mascot actually is named Roger, just for Roger Nielsen. So that's pretty cool. Earlier in the week, it's been all kind of OHL. On Sunday, went to one of my absolute favorite spots. I went to the Sudbury Community Arena. I think there was a fight. Sudbury Community Arena, home of the Sudbury Wolves, and it's just like an old school hockey barn. It's got the wooden ceiling, and it's got the I-beams, and it's just an old barn. And they got the coolest thing. They got this taxidermy wolf that hangs above in the one corner, and whenever the Wolves score a goal, they pulley it out over the rink, over the just over the visitors' bench, and it shakes, and it goes back, and so
that was the cheesiest thing.
Yeah, it's on your YouTube page. Check out Dave's YouTube page.
Check it out. It's so bad, it's good, right? So,
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's Bob Danny right there. I don't know. See Bob Danny up there.
Oh, I thought you meant the real Bob Gainey was walking by.
Yeah, no. There's Roger Nielsen and Scotty Bowman behind him. The stalls. I think two of the stalls were here. Eric Stahl was here. But you go to these junior spots, and it's like a who's who. Just looking through the team pictures, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy, and I remember that guy, and I remember that guy, and so yeah, this is where I am. I don't have a lot of previous trips to talk about because we're kind of just getting going. So yeah, the next time we do this, I'll have to cover my Ottawa Montreal, which is actually going to provide me with 2 new arenas. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're going to Place Bell. Paul, don't be too disappointed that we're not going with that we're going without you. So we're going to Place Bell, home of the Laval Rocket.
I'm sorry. Next January, they're going to try the AHL All-Star game there again for the 3rd time. So we'll see.
And then on the way home on Saturday, we're going to stop in Gatineau, home of the Gatineau Olympique, and they've got a new building, the Centre Slush Puppy. So yeah, I don't know what's French about slush puppies, but they bought the naming rights for the new arena, so it's all good.
I'm surprised they didn't make the words French, slush puppies. Or does that not translate?
It's a brand, so it wouldn't translate. It would be slush poupie.
Kentucky Fried Chicken, they have PSK up there.
Niche de chien? I don't know.
The language police will come and get you.
No dogs? I don't know. We'll have to ask around when we're there.
There you go. It gives you a good article there.
Yeah. Except that's the one I don't have to rate. Sean McDonald already wrote that one.
We're still waiting for the Welland Jackfish review.
I did that one already. Or did I?
I don't know. I don't think you did.
I did one.
Let's look.
Maybe it was Hamilton. Maybe I only did Hamilton.
Yeah, you did Hamilton, man. I have a podcast with the GM. He's like, where's a review? I was like, I don't know.
Don't you have a podcast with these days, Mark?
Okay, but I'll put that one on the list for the spring.
There you go.
Spring, summer. Well,
give them some love. Give those guys love. They're working hard. Okay, go, Dave.
They are working hard, but I'm not kissing the fish. I don't care.
I've kissed some fish in my life.
Always comes back to the girls with Mark.
Always one. There's always one.
This screech is good. No, it's Scotch. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm heading back before I miss more of the game. But
all right, Dave. Thanks for checking in. Enjoy your trip, man.
Catch you guys later.
Oh, all right, Dave.
Follow online and
have fun.
You'll see all the details.
Bye.
I wish I was at a hockey game like Dave. I would love to go to some Ontario Hockey League games, junior, whether it's in the Q. I would go to the Western Hockey League, the North American Hockey League, the United.
I've been to the North American League. They're kind of boring presentations.
Yeah, well, some of them out in Iowa are fun, from what I remember, and it's just not convenient to get out to unless you get on a map and schedule and you plan things out.
I've got one team pretty close to me, and that's in a little community rink, so it's nothing too special about it. Yeah. But I have been to a North American League game in Lewiston at the Colisee, which is always a fun place to go, and in Danbury at the Danbury Arena, which is it's a strange place to be.
Yeah, I did Cedar Rapids a few years ago, but I mean, how many times do I get to Cedar Rapids in the winter? Iowa in January and February is just frigid. I mean, it's terrible to be out there. Holy moly, it's cold. It's cold. Judas Priest.
It's probably windy, right? Wind chills like you.
It's windy. It's the type of cold. As soon as you walk out of the outside, you're like, I want back in. Like my bones are shattering.
This rink is really warm right now. It's probably
the rink would be a nice sunny destination compared to being outside of it. But yeah, Chicago has a junior team. And Danville, Illinois used to have one. Now they have one in the Southern Professional Hockey League. Does that make sense?
Yes, I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are right, because the UMass Dartmouth captain this past year signed a pro contract. He's not playing in Danville. He's playing in Evansville.
Yeah.
But I think Danville's got a team as well.
Yeah,
and he scored a goal in his first game.
Which, that's only 90 miles from me. I don't know why I haven't taken a trip out there. But once again, it's...
Oh, wait, Danville was in the Federal League.
They were in the Federal League. Now they're called the Vermilion County Bobcats. They named, I don't know why.
The Federal League.
Yeah, they were in the Federal League. They booted them out.
All right. To get booted out of the Federal League.
Yeah, well,
that's bad.
Yeah, you got to burn your arena down and play. Well, didn't they have a team that played at a ballpark outside?
Yeah, Williamsport.
Williamsport Outlaws. Like what a stupid idea to play outside of Pennsylvania.
They didn't make it.
Oh, we're going to do an outdoor classic every day. All right.
Yeah. Speaking of outdoor classics, the next one's been announced. It's Fenway Park again. Yeah. They ran out of places. They're recycling now.
Really? The Hamilton one, I heard that the Grey Cup attracted more people than this recent one. I mean, you did get 26,000 people to this outdoor classic. So
That's it? Huh.
I don't think the stadium holds that much more. I mean, it
looks pretty full.
Yeah, Tim Hortons is not a 50,000 seat stadium. It's like 24,000. So.
And Austin Matthews cross-checked the head 2 games.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. One of these days, I'll get to one of those outdoor games. The one in Notre Dame several years ago. Well, a couple years ago. I was in New Jersey. Now I'm back in Indiana, and they never have it. So
that was a lot of fun. I was at that one.
I know. Somebody had a free ticket to give me. He said, "Hey, go to South Bend. Who wants to come? Free ticket." Nobody responded. I'm like, darn it! I'm in New Jersey. Couldn't do anything.
Isn't that all? We were just talking about that back and forth in emails today, Mark. It's always just this. You can never hit all the games you want to. It's
you can't.
The curse of this sickness called stadium travel.
I mean, and that's how my wife is. She's like, well, okay, so you couldn't go to like 8 ballparks in 5 days. You're only going to 7. I guess if you look at it that way.
I can't. I look at it the other way. Damn it, I couldn't fit that other one in.
Yeah, but I mean, what am I going to be back out of Beloit, Wisconsin?
So, Mark, do you want to go next and talk about where you've been the last couple of months?
Oh, my goodness. Last couple months. I can tell you where I was a couple weeks ago. The weather got up to 70 degrees, which was insane because 2 days later it was 32 degrees and snowing. But I checked out some Division III baseball, which I don't usually do that. But it was such a nice day. You had to be outside. So I said, okay, who's playing? Ball State, IU, Butler, Purdue? No, Marion University, the Knights. So my dad and I went out to that game, and there was a nice crowd because everybody else was thinking like me, hey, let's go outside. And not the greatest baseball game. The Marion Knights won 20-10 on a 10-run roll. Can't say I've ever seen that before. I saw about 6 walks in a row. It was a
Little League game.
It felt like a Little League game in some aspects, but their grandstands, and I have a review coming up because I figured I took the pictures. I might as well do it, and a video's coming out as well. Their grandstands are made out of wood. They're not made out of steel or aluminum. They're these wooden bleachers that are just so odd looking that they stand out. And the ballpark has some nice bones to it. It's just there was no concession stand open. Access was a little bit odd to get inside. But it's a nice campus. It's a pretty little campus. It's not too far from the Speedway, 4 miles, about 6 miles from downtown. So, I mean, if you're in Indianapolis and you really want to get to all your ballparks, like my man Bart Wilhelm, this might be something you check out because I think it is a serviceable place to see baseball at this level. Free of charge. You could bring your food. You could bring your dogs. There's people lined up down the fence on the foul lines and vice versa. So it's a pretty, it's not a hidden gem like some other ones I've found, but it's serviceable. Do you need your baseball fix like I do? You can do it, but I can tell you this, I'm ready to hit Purdue and IU in a few days, just depending how the weather is, because I don't want to sit out in 40-degree temperatures, So
I'm guessing the Division III ballparks out there are probably on a par with the Division I parks out here.
I'm going to tell you this. Butler University has a ballpark. Nothing flashy. I mean, you could check out my review on Stadium Journey. I don't think there was. I don't. If you looked at Marion's ballpark and Butler's, I don't think you sat there and said, "Oh my God, there's a huge difference between the two." You couldn't get food at both places. There was probably a little more seating at Butler's, but it was the same kind of atmosphere. You sit behind the dugouts, you hear the guys chat. That's kind of fun. I do like that aspect at that level. But you're right. There's not a huge difference between those two. Now, when you get to IU, you get to Purdue, even Ball State, you have a nice little ballpark there. Same with Miami of Ohio, which I feel like I've been there several times this year to check out a venue. I went to their hockey arena about a month ago. Beautiful hockey arena. Like, you're going from an okay ballpark to like an awesome place to see hockey, where the fans are just banging on the glass, and they have chants, and every time the team scores, they do some weird little ritual. That was a lot of fun, and I would tell anybody, I'm not comparing this to some big major places, but I think University of Miami, Ohio, really has an amazing place to watch hockey, and I would suggest anybody in Cincinnati or Dayton, if you're doing any travels, to check out the Red Hawks. You'll have a great time, and it's a beautiful town. It's a beautiful campus. You can fill in with stops at some of the bars or restaurants, depending on your age. Because, if you're a 25-year-old guy who's single, you might enjoy the nightlife there. If you're an old guy like me, you may want to find a nice place to eat and be in bed by 10 or 11. So,
isn't it funny how our priorities change?
It does. Like Friday, I went out for St. Patrick's Day, pre-St. Patrick's Day, and it's about 10 o'clock, and I was out for about 4 hours. I'm like, you know what? I'm fine. I'm ready to go back home. And all my younger friends are just like pissed drunk and ready to just keep partying. And it's like,
Yep.
Oh man, I just don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be in a crowded. Yeah. And before we get off me for a little bit, I did check out Millett Hall, which is the home of basketball at Miami of Ohio. Strange place, built in 1968. Looks like it hasn't been updated since 1968. It looks like a branch library where you have elegant staircases leading up to the seating bowl. It's just a weird looking venue, and you can tell it's made for multiple sports and events, because it's not made for basketball. It's too big. It's like, let's build this 9,000 seat venue, stick a basketball court in it, and have like a third of the seats like way off in the distance. Hockey arena, Miami, awesome. Basketball arena, a little bit odd. You're not close to the action. And, when I go to basketball games like Louisville and Freedom Hall and KFC Yum, you can't move behind the net because it's so packed with, photographers and cheerleaders and students. Over at Millett Hall, I mean, you have all this space to roam around. It's almost uncanny. So, those are a few places I've been to, along with KFC Yum Center. We can get back to that. I mean, we can go to U-Paul and let us know.
I've got nothing much to talk about, to be honest. So,
nothing much.
So take it.
Okay.
Greg Kutch said not to be confused with Willett Hall, home of the Longwood basketball, which is also weird. The gym is in the same building as a bunch of classrooms, and you can look in, read unerased notes on the whiteboard while you're on your way to the bathroom. Well, that sounds fun.
A lot of places are like that now, and they use their arenas as also classrooms for certain programs. Great example, Notre Dame Stadium. When they redid it a few years back, they actually added classrooms to the stadium.
They did.
Yeah.
No, they did. And I think I went to, was it Northern Kentucky? Eastern Kentucky. They have classrooms at their football stadium, which that's another bizarre looking place. But I went there about 2 years ago, so we won't talk about that. KFC Yum Center, though, that is an amazing place to watch basketball. It doesn't feel like a college basketball gym because it's not. It's a professional arena, and it should probably be hosting its own NBA team or even a hockey team, even though I don't know how well hockey.
There was a hockey team that played there a while back, isn't it? Isn't that the old? I can't think of what it was called before the corporate name, but didn't the Louisville Panthers play there?
They played at Freedom Hall.
Okay, all right, that's what I was thinking of. Freedom Hall, so my mistake.
Now they did have an indoor football team that played there last summer in front of 5 fans, so it's that's a 20,000 seat venue for basketball, or 22,000. I can't imagine being in there with 5 people. But yeah, Louisville, the Louisville Cardinals pack them in. They have a lot going on there. Plenty of food from KFC and Taco Bell and Kentucky Fried Chicken, of course. Beautiful lobby, great location downtown near the river. You're not too far from some of the museums and distilleries there and restaurants. In some ways, I like it a little bit better than maybe the Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee or Banker's Life in Indianapolis, whatever it's being called right now, because it's a very pretty little place because they have a lot of natural lighting. They have areas that are sponsored by local distilleries that have created their own little lounge areas. It's just a fun place to be to watch basketball, especially with a lot of dedicated Louisville fans. Then after that, I went to Freedom Hall, which Louisville used to play at for many years. Now it's home to the Bellarmine Knights. Yeesh, too much scotch. And they just won their conference tournament, but they can't they can't qualify because they're transitioning from D1 to D2. And Freedom Hall is just a bizarre looking place too. Once again, it's like, hey, let's build this giant venue for like equestrian practice and contests, and let's put a basketball arena in it. But they love basketball so much there, they would get about 19,000 fans. Well, they're not getting that much anymore. And what you have is this sort of little bit outdated 1980s looking venue because that's when it was updated last. But the way they have the seating, the way the fans are close to the action, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. You know, if they could just like put a black tarp covering both ends, you probably have a little more of an intimate crowd there. But you could tell there's some spots that you feel have been lost, you know, or still in time. Like there's some kind of area that looks like it was like its own lounge or restaurant outside of the concourse, and it's just there's nothing in there, but you can walk inside the room and see what the heck's going on in there. So it's weird because Freedom Hall is this iconic basketball venue for many people. And here I am watching a game with maybe a couple thousand people. But I'm glad I went there because, you know, it's always nice to add another venue to the Stadium Journey family of venues. But yeah, those, trying to think, did I go anyplace else? I did some high school venues during tournament time. A little bit disappointed. I thought we'd get some more people up at the Case Arena. One of the highlights is I met a gentleman, and Paul's going to like this. He was the first base ump for the International League in 1981 when they had the 33-inning game.
Oh, nice.
So I happened to hear him talking about Cal Ripken and Wade Boggs. I'm like, you're not talking about the 33-inning. Yeah, I was there. I was the first base ump. So he gave me his number to do a podcast with him.
Oh, nice.
Can't wait to hear his stories about it.
Oh, my God. I've got all kinds of memorabilia from that game.
Yeah. No, I tell him.
Add your signature, too.
Yeah, I tell him, you cannot go to McCoy Stadium and not know this 33-inning game took place. It's everywhere. But
well,
yeah.
soon you will be able to not know because the latest plans for the site call for knocking down the stadium and building a new high school for the city of Pawtucket, which it badly needs. So it's a good usage, a good repurposing of the site. But
yeah, your memories.
Bye McCoy Stadium.
Yeah, it's the problem is it was just so damn big, you know, and that's what happens to ballparks once a team moves out. It's like, okay, well, we're not going to get another team here that's going to attract those numbers. So
right,
let's do something else. Yeah, that'd be sad. I was glad I did go see a game there when I did, and we have it on my YouTube page to check it out, and of course we have the reviews from Paul. So if you want to get a little reminiscent, check those out.
I need a break.
Yeah, yeah, but like I said, it's you know, with me right now, I got my dad in town. He's 92 years old. He can't walk as well. He's got some ailments. So, you know, if I could just get him out, put him in a wheelchair and you know, check out a baseball game, whether in Purdue or Bloomington, it gives him a chance to go outside, and tickets are like $5 to see a game. It's really affordable. And these are nice looking stadiums. Ball State, it's free admission. He doesn't know what's going on with baseball. He doesn't understand the sport, but he's outside. He'll talk to people.
Yeah.
And get him a cup of coffee or a hot dog. He'll be fine. So those are fun times to do. And we just have to see how the weather is, because this Saturday I'd like to go to Purdue. but if the weather dips below 50 degrees, I don't know if I want to be outside at Alexander Field watching a game because, that's how it is here. If it's a nice day, people will be out. If it's a crappy day, nobody will be out. So
I know that story.
crossed.
We experienced the same thing up here.
Yeah. And here's another thing with college baseball teams do. I know Cincinnati did this. I was planning to go to a Cincinnati game, and it rained that day. And I looked up on their Twitter page, and I looked at they played a doubleheader the day before to make up for the Saturday game because they knew it was going to be rained out. It's like, dang. It's like you have to keep up with these college teams sometimes.
They have to get really creative to get their schedules in this part of the country. Yeah.
And here's the thing. It may rain 3 days in a row, and the next day is beautiful, but their field may be trashed, and they still can't play. So if you're checking out some college baseball, depending on where you are, check out their Twitter pages. I feel like the Twitter pages for these teams are a little more up to date than going to the team website and checking out those schedules because they'll have the old schedule up there until like a week later they'll fix it. That doesn't do you any good. Yeah, check out the Twitter pages.
Yeah, if you're trying to do a baseball trip in the northern half of the country, you got to write your schedule in pencil because things are going to change.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And, this year I hope to get up to Fort Wayne to check out some college baseball. Not an exciting stadium, but I think the last person to do a review up there was Paul Swaney. So it's been some time.
Parkview Field?
No, it's
the college.
Purdue, Fort Wayne. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, if I was a college, maybe I'll try to invest a little bit money into a stadium just to make it somewhat attractive. Say, hey, crazy Tuesdays, come out and watch us play and get tacos or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
hey, speaking of Fort Wayne, the Division III National Final Four is this weekend in Fort Wayne at the what's it called, the Allen County War Memorial.
Allen County War Memorial, yes.
And my money is on Randolph-Macon University. Last weekend in the Sweet 16, they took two really good teams, UMass Dartmouth and then WPI, and just took them both out back and beat them silly. Beat them both by 23, and I don't think either game was that close. And those were two of the best teams in all of New England, and they just toyed with them. Wow. So now they're going to the Final Four. I can't tell you off the top of my head who the other teams in the Final Four are, but I don't think it's going to matter. After watching that team,
I wasn't even aware that they were playing this weekend, but that would be fun to check out. Division 2,
Division 3.
Division 3. Yeah, Division 3. Yeah, I know. Last year I thought about going to it was in Grace College in Indiana. Looked like a nice little arena. I was going to go up there for the NAAC. It was a weird little division of Christian schools. And I got terribly sick that day. I just couldn't make it. So,
oh Christ,
yeah, food poisoning. So I had something going on. So yeah, it's like I said, like I tell people, there's a ballpark near you. There's some kind of venue near you. Just get out, enjoy it. You don't have to take a 3-hour drive. Sometimes I feel like I have to take a trip somewhere because I got the time. But you could do some local visits and enjoy it. So, and
yeah, the action could be just as exciting. The games are just as competitive, and the atmospheres can be just as good in these smaller places, small local places.
So you say you haven't been anywhere lately? I thought.
Well, no, I've been a lot of places.
I look at your Twitter page.
I've been a lot of places, just the same ones over and over. I've actually got stats because my schedule, because I'm doing PA for 5 different teams now. So I have to make calendars so I know
you're getting paid, right?
Why does everybody ask me that? Yes, I get paid. But I went back and I looked at January and I looked at February. In the last 64 days, well, that's a little more. That's probably the first week of March as well. 64 days since the turn of the calendar, I worked 50 games. So I've been busy. Yeah. So I was at the Trip Center at UMass Dartmouth 24 times. I was at Hetland Arena, which is the home of UMass Dartmouth hockey, 7 times. I was at Warrior Ice Arena for the Boston Pride another 6 times. And I was at the Dunkin' Donuts Center for the P Bruins 9 times. Now, those weren't working days. Those were as a spectator. But, yeah, that's 50 games in 64 days. So, yeah, I've been busy. But not anywhere new, not anywhere I haven't spoken about before. We did actually sneak a couple road trips in. I snuck up to Babson College one time, which is in the Boston suburbs, and they actually made the D3 tournament as well. So they have a really good team and a nice little 500 seat gym, which was brand new and sparkly clean. And I followed the Corsairs up to Plymouth State in New Hampshire another time, and that was a fun little road trip. That was one of those days. It was Saturday morning. I didn't feel like staying home. Pam didn't feel like staying home. There was really no games around. We looked at the AHL. There was nothing. I said, "Hey, UMass Dartmouth's playing up in New Hampshire today." And she said, "Let's go." We went up and found a great brew pub and had a great dinner and watched 2 basketball games and then headed back home afterwards. So that was nice. But last weekend, we embarked on a stadium journey, a last-second stadium journey. Now, I was just talking about the UMass Dartmouth Corsairs, who had just a fantastic season this year. They had their second most wins in program history, and this program dates all the way back to to 68, I believe, was their first season. So it's not a brand new school. They've been playing for a long time. Second most wins ever. They made the tournament. They won their regular season title, lost in the championship game of their conference, but still got an at-large bid. So they got shipped up to Nazareth College for their sub-regional. Division III does it a little different. They put these pods of 4 schools together, and 16 schools across the country get to host. So they host these little pods. Nobody can travel more than, I think it's 500 miles. So you're going to get semi-regional teams. So UMass Dartmouth, UMass Dartmouth, Westfield State, which is in Western Massachusetts, Babson College, which is in Boston, all had to travel out to Rochester and play at Nazareth College. So UMass Dartmouth had their first game on a Friday afternoon against Babson. We're down 21 points in the second half, came back and won their game to make the round of 32. So when I was watching this, I was like, how about we go up to Rochester this weekend? And surprisingly, Pam said, yeah, let's go. So we hopped in the car on Saturday morning. Of course, timed it so we hit lunch at Dinosaur Barbecue in Troy, New York. If I ever want Pam to go anywhere on a trip, if I can tie up Dinosaur Barbecue in on it, she's good to go.
Yeah. Now, what do you usually get at Dinosaur Barbecue? One of our favorite spots on the East Coast to get some barbecue.
What do I get? I mix it up. Pam is a pulled pork sandwich every time.
Yes. Can't go wrong.
No, I'm more of a platter guy.
Me too.
I like sampling, so I get a little of this, a little of that. I get like a little brisket, a little pulled pork, and I'll get a salad on the side. Oh, little green stuff.
Yeah.
What's that? What's that? A vegetable? Yeah, well, why not?
See, I like the sides. I like getting one of their sides with
chili. You get chili or the cornbread. I love the cornbread there. Mac and cheese there is fantastic. That collard greens, they got all kinds of great stuff. So I don't remember exactly what I got, but yeah, I was full.
Oh, yeah. just give me a plate of meat and some sauce.
And some people next to us got this giant platter that's yay big, and I think it had the whole menu on it. And I don't think they realized what they had ordered because it was an older couple. And we were just talking before the show about how when you get older, you don't want to, you don't want to gorge yourself. You don't want to drink 100 beers, so forth. But they got to the table and you saw their eyes go, oh, what did I do? I think we bit off more than we can chew here.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. When I was in Texas, I went to Black's Barbecue, and I'll take that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it came out to like $70.
And
so
then it comes to, and then you can't eat any of it.
$70 of barbecue. Now, I fed 3 of us, plus a little bit leftovers to take home. So,
so that's not so bad. 3 of you.
No, and it filled you up for about 3 days. So
yeah.
Tasty.
So what happened? Yeah, we drove to Rochester and met the team, and I don't think Pam was expecting this reaction, but when I walked in that little gym, Nazareth College, a beautiful little school in the suburbs of Rochester, we walked into the gym and we got greeted like rock stars.
Oh, I love it when they kiss your ass.
Like, oh my God, Paul, what the hell are you doing here? I can't believe you made it up here. And the AD came over and gave me a hug, and the assistant AD came over, the SID. The players came over, were high-fiving me, and I was like, holy crap.
Wow, the players came over. Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that much clout up there.
It's a small school, you get to know everybody. Great bunch of kids. Great bunch of kids. And actually, again, it happened. They went up big in the first half, fell behind by like 12 points with about 4 minutes left, and went on a 24-4 run, won the game, went to the Sweet 16, where the next weekend they had to go down to Rochester and play Randolph-Macon, and they got wiped out. But what a run! It was a fantastic season, and it gave us a great excuse to go on a stadium journey. So we drove all the way to Rochester to go to Nazareth College.
Well, now how far is a drive for that
6
for you
hours.
guys?
6
6. Okay. Oh wow, that's a little bit further than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, New York's pretty, from us, it takes 3 hours to get to Albany. Then it's another hour to Utica, hour to Syracuse, hour to Rochester, hour to Buffalo.
Yeah, because I think if I did 6 hours south, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama. So
If I drive 6 hours south, I'm in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean somewhere.
yeah, no. If you drive 6 hours south, you're in Connecticut because of the traffic. New Jersey, maybe you're New Jersey by then. Maybe you're just crossing. You're on the Garden State Parkway somewhere, just crossed over the border.
When I was in college, I made it to Baltimore in 6 hours one time. Nobody ever believes me, but it did happen.
Oh,
You always hear those stories because I think for me, Baltimore is about a good 3 hours without traffic. I'll hear people say, "Really, I could get to Washington in 2 hours." So I'm like, okay.
If you drive at the right time and don't hit any traffic, yeah.
You're absolutely right. I don't know how you do Washington D.C. from New Jersey, from like central. Ooh, almost said it. From North Jersey, Central Jersey,
Central
South
Jersey does not exist.
Oh my!
I'm keeping track of that, sir. I'm taking
For real.
notes. I am taking notes.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're driving from like Newark as opposed to Voorhees, yes, Voorhees going to get you to Washington D.C. quicker. So, yeah,
But yeah, the traffic is real on that corridor, because one time trying to get home from Johns Hopkins in Baltimore City, home on the day before Thanksgiving, took me 16 hours of sitting in traffic. That was miserable. So
I'd shoot myself. 16 hours.
Hit it both ways. Yeah.
Jeez, you have to.
I sat from the Delaware Memorial Bridge.
Accident?
No, it's called
that's Thanksgiving Day traffic, man.
traffic.
Oh yeah, short
So
enough.
This was before GPS. This was in the 80s. So you got on the highway and you hope that you didn't hit traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And so from the Delaware Memorial Bridge all the way to halfway through Connecticut.
Oh God.
The whole way.
Oh.
So
take Route 1 and 9, but you probably hit traffic there too.
I don't think on that day, on the day before Thanksgiving, there was no way out.
No, I can tell you. I went to the day before Thanksgiving. I drove from Indianapolis to the western suburbs of Chicago, Schaumburg, to see a buddy, and that should take no more than, I'm saying, 3 hours, 3.5 with some traffic. That took about 7 hours. And he was about to leave me because we had to drive to Rochester, Minnesota to see his sister. And I said, dude, I'm sitting in traffic. Like, I can't move. There's no place for me to go. And this was before GPS as well. So you just get out a map. Oh, let me exit here and just follow this road west, shoot up here. I don't know how the hell I made it to his house in time. Well, I didn't make it in time. I don't know how I made it at all. Yeah, crazy day. So I told myself, never drive to Chicago on Thanksgiving Eve. It's unless you take
wherever you're going. Yeah,
no, I'm staying home. You want to come? You want to see me? You come visit me. That's it.
So we did that 6 hour drive, and the drive to upstate New York is nice because when you go to New York City from where I am, it's traffic, like you said. Connecticut, New York City, New Jersey, it's traffic. When you go up Route 90 through upstate New York, there's no traffic, so you can cruise.
Beautiful.
So yeah, we went up on Sunday, and the plan was to come back. I mean, up on Saturday, the plan was to come back on Sunday. But you've got the sickness that I have, Mark. You got to find another game. I can't make a 6 hour drive and rationalize it for one game.
Yeah, you're driving and you're like looking. Oh, wait a minute.
No, Pam does the driving, so I get to play. So Saturday, we're on our way home. I found a game.
Oh,
Colgate basketball was hosting the semifinals of the Patriot League tournament. They were playing Lehigh. So I was like, hey, you know what?
Good old Lehigh.
Right off the turnpike. Well, not right off the turnpike, but close enough where it's worth considering. And it worked out schedule wise. So hey, guess what? We're hitting up a new basketball gym. We're going to Colgate. And I don't know if you've ever been to Colgate.
No.
It's one of those charming, old-timey.
Yeah, your pictures, they look very nice. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Oh, my God.
Greg asked the turnpike or the throughway, Paul?
For what?
I don't know.
Throughway would be New York State.
For New York? New York, it's called the throughway technically. Yes, Greg.
Yeah.
The throughway and the turnpike is the same thing.
Yes.
You're paying to drive on the road. It's the same thing. But anyway, you want to talk about beautiful campuses? Colgate. It's got these old stone buildings, and it's nestled into the side of a mountain. And we couldn't find the gym. The GPS took us to the middle of campus several times.
Beautiful.
But so we got to drive around the campus. It's a very small, compact campus. I think it's only 3,000 students. Small school. So we got to drive around campus, talk to some of the people who were trying to give us directions, which we could not follow. But anyway, it was so getting to see the campus was nice. We finally found the gym, which is located down at the bottom of the mountain across the street. In this old dual Quonset hut with a shared lobby in the middle. So you walk in the hockey arena. The old hockey arena was on your left. Basketball court was on your right. In the lobby, the first thing you see is this giant trophy case that's shaped like a big C for Colgate. It's got all kinds of old memorabilia in it. It's got pictures of all their seniors and all the sports all around the lobby. And you walk in, it's this old-timey little gym that seats 2,500 maybe. Pretty packed for the game. I don't even think it seats 2,500. I think it's smaller than that. I should know. I just wrote the review, but I don't remember.
How dare you not know?
I know. How dare I not know off the top of my head? But it was pretty packed. It was semifinals against Lehigh, which is not too far. So Lehigh had a nice contingent of visiting fans. One of those old barns where you get a nice atmosphere, and Colgate ended up winning by a solid 20 points and won their tournament a couple nights later against Navy.
Yeah, 1,750.
All right, so I'd say there was a good 1,500 fans there. So
no, it looks like it looks like a hangar. It's
a Quonset hut. You know what a Quonset hut is? Like you take a barrel, you slice it in half, and you lay it down. It's Quonset hut.
Yeah, no,
that's what it's shaped like. Yeah.
So you said Lehigh brought a contingency up there?
Yeah. So it was a nice atmosphere. The football players packed the little student section under the basket. The student section consists of about 5 rows of bleachers. So I mean, it was nice. Nothing special, nothing fancy. It's one of those little old-timey places for a mid. Would you call the Patriot League mid-major, or what's the step below mid-major?
That's a good question. No,
because I wouldn't call them exact. I wouldn't call the Patriot League mid-major.
Well, I do want to tell the people from Lehigh, I'm glad you made the trip up to Kilgate, because when I went to the Stabler Athletic Center or Stabler Arena, and there was nobody there. It's like it was dead as a doornail. But
I mean, they probably brought up like 2 busloads. Like
that's impressive. That's impressive because Stabler Arena I've been to, and it's one of those outdated venues. It's like, wow, this place needs a upgrade. But no, looking at Colgate, that does look like a fun place to see basketball.
You're right on one of those where you're right on top of the action. It's simple. It's bleacher seating. The concession stand has like 5 items on the menu. The fanciest thing you're going to get is a hot dog.
Nice. That's all you need.
That's all you need. Yeah, we went out and had a nice meal on the way home. It was a great weekend. It was a hard weekend. Up and back. We're getting
mid-major.
6 hours up, 6 hours up, 6 hours back is a long weekend.
Yeah, it is.
It was fun.
Yeah, mid-major is Patriot. Like, how does Pam feel about this when you say, "Hey, let's go watch a basketball game and spend another 3 hours on the road"?
She was all for it. I convinced her, and again, I bribed her. We're driving right by Dinosaur Barbecue on the way back too. If you want to stop there,
even better. Yeah,
we didn't. We stopped at this nice restaurant in Lenox, Massachusetts. This pub got an excellent steak, so it was definitely worth the trip. And that's you give a little, you get a little. And Pam's into sports, so it's not a hard sell with her.
No, that's good. And my wife,
not like I've got to bribe her. Yeah, and basketball's probably her. And if I had to rank the sports that Pam is into, I think hockey and baseball at the top, then football, then basketball. Mm-hmm. And she also tolerates lacrosse. And
good. Well, I hope so. She married a lacrosse player.
I'm not going to be able to. I'm not going to be able to get her to go to a soccer game. I can't. That's not going to sell her.
No. See, my dad. See, the only thing with my dad is it's soccer season again. So Indy 11 are in town in Louisville City. So we do watch a lot of indoor soccer on YouTube, and he's like, oh, if you want to go to one of these games, let me know. And I'm thinking, well, the closest place is St. Louis. That's about a 4-hour drive. Nah, that's too far. I don't want to go out there. So, okay. Yeah. Okay, then I guess we watch it on YouTube. But yeah, he enjoys watching that along with the Paramount. I got the Paramount Network.
Yeah.
So there's Argentinian soccer, Italian soccer.
Nice.
There's another league on there I can't think of, but between those 2 leagues, he's fine.
And you said your dad's from Costa Rica. Is that what you told us once?
Yeah, Costa Rica. So we also get the CONCACAF World Cup qualifier. So we've seen Costa Rica play, I think, 3 times already. plus Canada, who apparently is kicking butt and will probably qualify for their first World Cup appearance since 1986.
When I used to work at Gillette Stadium, I used to like working the international friendlies that we had.
Oh,
there.
yeah.
They were always a lot of fun. Seeing 1,000 Guatemalans do a conga line down the concourse is something I'll never forget.
Yeah, I tell you, I love Giant Stadium, and then MetLife Stadium would have a lot of those international friendlies, or the Gold Cup they would host, which would be the North American, South American teams, or maybe just North American teams. And yeah, the Mexican fans would show up, the Guatemalan fans will show up, the Americans would show up, and you'd pack that place.
El Salvador, I remember we hosted one time.
Yeah, you'd pack it.
We never got any of the big names, but yeah, there was always a lot of fun to work those games.
I hear you.
Yeah. So that was I actually had a stadium journey to talk about in the midst of all of this PA stuff. I mean, the sad part was in the first weekend of March, all of my team season ended within a 48-hour period. So that was a rough weekend, but now I've got time to travel. So we're looking forward to that. And now the weather's getting nicer. We'll start maybe we can catch a few lacrosse games. Maybe we can catch a few baseball games over the next coming weeks.
Yeah, this time of year is interesting because you could do basketball, hockey, you could do baseball. You could just mix it up. A college baseball, you could just mix it up a bit. So I kind of like those. I kind of like this month of March because if the weather's right, you can do a lot of different sports in a very few little amount of time. Like there's high school semi-states in Lafayette this Saturday. I'm thinking about checking that out along with Purdue, and then maybe Ball State on Sunday. So, kind of these mini trips that need some updated reviews. But like I said, just depends on the weather.
Hey, it's something I've learned, man. Like, don't sleep on Division II, on Division III, man. There are some nice venues, and the action on the field or on the court or on the ice is almost as good as you get at the top levels.
Yeah, you get two equally teams that can play each other well. Yeah, you're going to have a fun game.
Exactly.
You should have a fun game. Same thing with like Division II soccer.
Yep.
If you're checking out USL Championship, which just opened, you should see some good. I mean, I think Phoenix had a full house. Sacramento. I mean, you're just shocked by the amount of people that really support their teams at a local level, and the ones that don't, you kind of question why not. Like, what's going on?
And being up close and personal with the goings on in the athletic department, the amount of work that goes on is just as much as in the bigger names, and they usually do it with a skeleton crew of 2 or 3 people.
Yeah, no, I like just looking at the website. I like looking at a map on the internet and saying, how far am I away from this place? So if I'm 3 hours, how much bang can I get for my buck? So like when I head out to Columbus, I want to check out the Crew's new stadium. Hopefully that works out. They're being a little weird out there. So if I could check out Columbus, check out a Clippers game, which is baseball. I wanted to check out a college baseball game out in Ohio State because they have a really nice looking stadium. It's very impressive looking compared to the other ones in this area. So, if you're going to drive the 2.5 hours out there, you want to, hang out there. Right. If I have to stay overnight, get a hotel, maybe hit something in Dayton on the way back. And then you can say, hey, I had a nice little overnight visit. I like those overnight visits because, you just spend one night in a hotel, you check out a city, and you live it up for a night.
Yep, and I try to do my trips the same way. If I'm going somewhere, I want to see the city or at least a couple of venues while I'm there. And luckily, my wife, who rides shotgun, well, she drives, I ride shotgun. She's got the same mindset. And we've been, because of Stadium Journey, we have been to so many places we wouldn't have even considered.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right.
And that we absolutely love going to now. I mean, you name a city anywhere in New England or New York, and I say, oh yeah, go check out this place to eat. Go here, then check out this place, and hey, this over here. I was talking with one of the show's followers. He covers the Midwest League. Midwest Traveler is his handle on Twitter.
Yeah, I know Midwest Traveler.
And he's a big fan of Jack Kerouac. He was posting about Jack Kerouac because his 100th birthday just happened this past week. And I told him, hey, there's a memorial to Jack Kerouac not too far from Wallachia Stadium in Lowell. And he didn't know this. So he's like, oh, now I got to go to Lowell and check this out.
Yeah, If you go to Lowell, check out the mill museums. Those things are so
Yes.
damn loud. How the heck did people work there for 10 hours a day?
And those are allowed without the machinery running.
Oh my God. Wow. How did like one person a day to not die somehow falling into those machines?
and those floors used to be coated with oil and like machinery oil and stuff. And that's why when one of them catches on fire, the whole block goes up. I mean, the city next to me, Fall River, used to be full of mills. They've all burned down over the years.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's weird looking at those mill cities, those factory cities, because you're right. When you do write for Stadium Journey, you find yourself in places you never thought you'll be in. Like Danville, Virginia. Never thought I'd see myself there.
Berlin, New Hampshire.
Yeah, Berlin, New Hampshire. Johnson City, Tennessee, which I went through that area years ago. I hated it, but I decided to go back for our convention last year. I loved it. So, so sometimes you go to some towns you really like it, and sometimes you go to some towns you hate. Montgomery, Alabama, and then you move on to the next. Oh, did I say that? Did I say that out loud?
I like Montgomery. Well, I just saw the ballpark. I didn't see the city.
The ballpark is awesome. That is a cool ballpark,
and that used to be a prison
for Union
in the Civil War.
Yeah,
Civil War. Yeah,
but the town just gave me a bad vibe, and I was there for like 2 days.
Is that because of the civil rights stuff that happened back then? Isn't that where the Bridge of Tears is, or is that in Birmingham?
The Bridge of, you know what? I've been to a lot of.
I think that's Montgomery, but I'm not 100% on that.
I've been to a lot of. I've visited a lot of southern areas, and there's always a civil rights museum somewhere. So,
where did I go this past year that had the?
The Trail. Is it the Trail of Tears?
Yes. No, that's Native American.
Yeah, no, that's what
the Bridge of Tears, where they stopped the marchers.
Was that Salem?
No, that was in Alabama. It's either Birmingham or Montgomery.
I don't know. If anybody can help us out, let us know.
But I was in Greensboro. That's where I was this past year.
I don't think it's.
And they have the Civil Rights Museum, where with the actual Woolworths.
Yeah, no,
where they had to sit in.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
That was a fascinating place to go.
Speaking of that, my father, when he first came in from Costa Rica to Miami, and we're talking, goodness, probably the late 40s, early 50s, he was at a Woolworths and he sat down in a section. Somebody told him, "You're in the colored seat." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And he couldn't figure out what they meant. And he's like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll sit here." So he told me that story a few months ago when he came here. So
crazy.
You're not talking about. Oh, you see, Greg said the same thing. I was going to say, you don't mean Salem, you mean Selma, don't you?
Selma. The Selma Bridge crossing?
Yeah, that's, attached to Bloody Sunday and all that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I mean, see, when I love like
so
when
it's
we get
Selma, Alabama. It's the Edmund Pettus Bridge, and it goes over the Alabama River.
Is it going to Birmingham or to Montgomery?
It's closer to Montgomery.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about west of Montgomery on State Road 980.
But yeah, when I do these stadium journeys, I like to fit in as much of that kind of stuff as well.
No, you're absolutely right.
The people who say, you know what, I'm going to go to 5 ballparks in one day and see one inning in each, and then hop in my car and drive,
I've done that.
Or I'm going to sleep in the airport so I can catch the early flight. Like, no, I don't.
I haven't done that. No,
I don't understand that kind of traveling. I mean, if that's what you like, good for you. But I like to catch in the local flavor, restaurants, food.
Yes.
Touristy stuff, even if it's touristy traps. I want to.
Yes. Or food. Yeah, you're right. The foods. You're absolutely right. There's people that will fly from, and I'm not knocking anybody. So don't.
Right. If that's what you like to do, great.
But it's like, I've never thought about, like, I would love to go see the ballpark in Miami. But I want to hang out in Miami for a little while and do some other things. But I did think about getting a cheap flight to Fort Lauderdale, getting an Uber. Well, I guess, I think you get an Uber from Fort Lauderdale. I think that's a cheap way to do it. And then coming back and flying back out that day. But maybe once, but there's people that do it all the time. God bless you. I mean, there's people that think I'm nuts, and there's people that probably think you're nuts, Paul, for driving 6 hours to go to Rochester. So
I do.
For a Division III basketball game. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah.
For Rochester. Yeah.
But I did think about last year, hopping in my car, driving 6 hours or 6.5 to Montgomery, Alabama, and then coming back the next day just to see the Trash Pandas play, because I have not been in that stadium.
Yeah.
Why not? And my wife's like, you really want to do all that driving? I said, yeah, why not? But didn't happen. But maybe this year.
You know what I was asked when I came back? But gas is so expensive now. I was like, gas is $1 more than it was last year. This trip cost me $20 more than it would have cost last year.
It's all Biden's fault.
Yeah, Biden sets the gas prices. Shut up.
It is. Did you see the gas prices when Trump was in president? They were
did you see that?
It was $1.80. It was $1.50. I mean,
and we couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I remember filling up for like $14, but there was no baseball game to go to, except for like some team in North Dakota was playing.
$1.50. It was $1.99 when I started driving. What the fuck are you talking about?
It was 86 cents when I started driving.
Cheapest I saw gas was in St. Louis, January of '98. It was 85 cents.
There was like,
what the heck is this?
There was a gas station that closed well before I was driving.
Texas.
Way down. No, it was like a way down on Route
Sinclair.
70, like towards like the Pine Barrens, Route 70.
Wow. Stay out of the Pine Barrens.
It wasn't $1.50. Anybody who says it was $1.50 average is full of crap. By the way, in the last 10 years, average. But it was towards the Pine Barrens, and it closed years ago, and it was stuck on 89 cents. And I would drive by going,
"Oh, nice!
Oh, I love you." But yeah, it was $1.99 average in Jersey when I started driving.
Yeah.
Well, let me rephrase that. When I bought my first car.
Yeah. Well. I think around
like,
the invasion of Iraq, I remember prices went up, and I started complaining about Bush, and somebody told me it's not Bush,
right?
It's the global economy. So, to those who think it's the president, it's not.
Yeah.
So stop it.
Read a book, touch grass. Also, shut up.
That's my political.
Greg said it was more like $1.98 than not $1.50. Exactly. Yeah. Also, don't complain about gas and then buy. Like a venti coffee or a super gulp Slurpee
did you see how much?
And this is coming from a fat guy.
Did you see how much a craft beer is at a ballpark?
I don't know.
Yeah, $12.
I honest
14.
14.
Don't complain about gas and then pay these friggin' owners that just JO'd all over us for a month with the players, and then buy a $12 beer and an $80 hot dog. Priorities, folks.
Yeah, I'm not buying a $12 beer.
Jesus Christ. I have not, honestly, guys, I have not bought stadium or let me rephrase that, venue food in years. I think the last time I technically bought venue food was the first time I went to the PPL Center for the Lehigh Valley inaugural season.
Because you were getting Timbits.
Tim Hortons, yeah. And I bought Timbits. And a cup.
I like the Timbits.
That's it. And it was probably premium Timbits. I didn't care. It
Cupcake
was Timbits.
Flavored.
Oh my! No, it was everything flavored. Those things lasted for days. Surprising. But my point is like we got to talk. We have to have one show. Promise me, Dave, when you listen to this, I want to schedule in the near future an episode where we just talk about the worst food experiences in a venue. Because
that'd be fun. Can I tell you a story before we go?
No, if it's food related, save it for that podcast, please. I'm begging you.
Okay.
Please.
In 2 weeks, I'll take your journey.
Yeah, Dave, let's schedule it for 2 weeks.
No, sorry, we have to have a guest from some.
No, we don't. No.
Good. No.
No, but I'm saying because I got some bones to pick with Philly that I have never told stories about, and I was just remembering a couple stories with Kelly going, oh man, I got a podcast. I got to air my grievances.
No, that's a nice topic.
Damn. We all vote. That's a good topic. Dave, sign up. Let's do it.
All right, let's wrap it up there, guys. We've been talking for about an hour. Look at that.
I can't believe it went an hour. It's perfect.
We put the journey in Stadium Journey, man. We sure did.
I'll even remember to put the right camera on at the end since I forgot to do the one camera shot at the beginning.
Oh, so thanks to everybody for listening. And hey, now we need to hear your bad food stories from your road trip so we can incorporate them when we do that show.
Yes.
So start sending it to us. Send to all of us on our Twitter.
Social media, everywhere. Send it. Tag everyone about your worst. In fact, get on Jim and let's get a poll. Not a poll, but let's get like a tweet the week of. scheduled to talk about the worst food experiences because that's like a 2-hour show.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Not
So,
prices or quality, whatever.
Sure.
Oh yeah,
sure.
let's do it.
Quantity,
yeah.
quality. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
I'm down. I'm
Not at the White Sox ballpark. Oh, their food's great. Okay.
We can't drink during that one because we'll be spitting. We'll do spit takes all over the place, or soda will come out of our nose, or whatever. So let's see. Dave wasn't with us. He's in Peterborough enjoying a game. Hopefully, he's having some wonderful food. If you would like to follow Dave, he's at ProFan9. Dan, where can our listeners follow you?
follow me at DanLaw83.
That was very professional sounding.
Thank you.
Voice.
I have a new mic. I have a new mixing desk.
It does like sound effects.
But yeah, it does. It goes. But I got another mic. But I got another mic coming, so I can get it off the mixing desk. I can't even pull it. Can't pull it up. Stuck to it. Anyway,
All right.
Dan Law 83 for all the developers.
Dan Law 83. Mark, where can our listeners follow you? And hey, any stadium journeys planned before we get together again?
Yeah, that's a good. It just depends on the weather. I would like to do the baseball stadiums at IU, Ball State, and Purdue. Those are definitely on my radar. The weather's getting nice. April 2nd, I hope to be in Columbus, Ohio for the crew game. We'll see if that works out as well. So, yeah, those are my plans. So you can follow me, Ballpark Hunter, on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. You can also check out the Ballpark Hunter podcast. Regan Wood, the CEO of the Auckland Tuataras, is my latest interview. I actually talked to somebody from New Zealand.
I was going to say Zoom. Auckland, New Zealand?
Yeah, Auckland Zoo. He tells us all about putting a baseball team in New Zealand. It's the first professional team ever to be in that country. So talked to him for over an hour. Guy's insane. He was a great conversation. And hopefully things work out well there because they haven't played. They've had 2 years off. Well, I think they finished the 1920 season, but they haven't played the last 2 seasons. So that would be tough for any team, regardless of where you're at. So best of luck to them.
So if you're the first team somewhere, who do you play against?
You play members of the you play members of the Australian baseball, like Sydney and Brisbane. So maybe Lloyd Rothwell knows a little bit about those guys.
How far of a flight is it from New Zealand to Australia?
I think he said it was like a 3-hour flight from Auckland to Sydney, but let me look.
So wait a minute. I'm trying to think. How far can I fly in 3 hours? Probably to Chicago. So that's like Boston to Chicago.
Yeah, it'd be about a 2-hour flight.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, actually, it's about a 3.5 hour flight.
Yeah, because those two places aren't right next door to each other on a map.
No, there's not. And here's the thing, like Perth on the other side of Australia,
right?
It is like thousands of miles away from anybody else.
East Coast to West Coast in this country.
Yeah, it is. It's ridiculous. It's like if LA was the only team on the West Coast in Major League Baseball and you had to fly out to New York or Philly or Washington to play.
Can we move Australia closer, like we could lift a house up and move it?
Would be nice. It would be nice. Just move it, like move it where the Kenlita Islands are.
Well, because I like Australia and I like a lot of people from Australia, but I am not on a plane.
It's a 12-hour flight. Auckland to LA is a 12-hour flight.
Yeah, wow. But from East Coast, how far was it? Like 20 hours?
So it's six to LA, right?
You're adding 5 or 6 hours. It'd be a 17-hour flight. I've done New York
and
City.
You leave on a Tuesday and you get there on a Thursday or something.
Listen,
right?
I have an irrational fear of flying to begin with, and you think I'm going on that plane for more than
yeah, it might be tough.
How long does Valium last?
We'll have to knock you out like the A-Team did with Mr. T.
Is it legal to smoke weed on a plane and get somewhere? Because I'll be fine if I.
Well,
not smoke it on a plane.
If you have edibles, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, they won't. What they don't know won't hurt them.
There you go.
You don't know.
Wow, he's really asleep. Yeah, he is.
My wife's Denise is the same way. She hates flying.
You get one of those travel CPAPs. I'll sleep the whole flight.
Yeah, I'm with you too. No, I'd be okay. Just put on some movies and give me like 5 rows to stretch out on and go to sleep.
That's my problem, is just sitting in one place for that long.
Whether it's legal is determined by the laws of the country the plane is chartered in.
No.
So
Interesting.
fly Air Jamaica, man.
Or Air Holland.
Here.
Okay, where were we? Oh, you can follow
Your
my
outro.
Stadium Journeys.
Lufthansa, right? That's who they are. Okay.
Follow my Stadium Journeys on Twitter or Instagram at PuckmanRI. This weekend, doing a little AHL traveling. We're going to see, well, not where, I'm going solo this time. We're going to Bridgeport, see the Bridgeport Islanders on Saturday.
Sound Tigers.
No, Islanders.
I'm not calling them the Islanders. It's stupid.
And if the weather cooperates, I'm going to hit up a Fairfield lacrosse game in the afternoon.
Oh, cool.
If the weather cooperates. It's supposed to rain, so I don't know.
Ah,
And then on
Go to
Sunday, I'm
Spain.
gonna head up to Worcester and catch the Railers of the ECHL.
nice.
So that'll be this weekend. And next weekend, if all things work right, I should be up at the Boston Garden catching a Celtics game next Sunday. So that's me the next couple of weeks. So remember, visit the website because you can find all of our stadium reviews, news items, and feature stories there, stadiumjourney.com. Connect with us on our social media channels at Stadium Journey. If you're looking for the Stadium Journey podcast, just type in on your phone, HIAC Talk Radio, and there we are. Video simulcasts are on Stadium Journey's YouTube page, and our classic back catalog can still be found at vocnation.com. And we live stream every other Tuesday night, 7 Eastern, danlaw.tv. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. We're not sure exactly what we're going to talk about. Maybe we're going to be talking about some bad food. Maybe we're going to talk about college hoops. It is March Madness. Tune in and find out. So thanks everyone for listening. And for Dan, for Mark, and for Dave, this is Paul. Wishing you all safe stadium journeys and close games. Hope to see you on the road real soon. Be safe out there.